I just added a new piece of equipment to my travel kit or my adventure kit. Maybe we'll call it urban travel adventure kit because I'm not necessarily looking at taking this backpacking, but for my trip to Italy, shopping, sightseeing, museums, that sort of thing, these Ray-Ban Metas were awesome. Now, they weren't awesome in every way. They weren't awesome in ways that I was hoping they'd be awesome. But I do like having them as a piece of my kit now. I'll kind of go over what my thoughts are, what I think they did well and didn't do so well. So the logic in buying these going to Italy is that, at least the way I told my wife when I was buying them, was that they'd be good for translating menus, signs, messages from the airport overhead, people talking to us that I didn't understand. And I'll be honest, they didn't work so good for that. So I was told that I'd be able to read menus. Most of the menus were in English, but I played with it a little bit anyways, and they didn't do a really good job. You got to be real specific as to what text, and it gets confusing and hard and frustrating, and honestly, it just didn't work for menus. If you read the menu after you've given the command for Meta to translate what you're saying, that works fine. But if you think it's just going to read signs for you, it was hit and miss, mainly miss. People talking, you're going to have to stop somebody, ask Meta to translate, and then hope that it gets them. I thought it was clunky at best. The only way I got it to work was to literally read stuff while it was listening to translate. So that was disappointing. I think that these are going to get better, and I think that once Mr. Zuckerberg gets the AI dialed in, that these are going to be insane from that standpoint. Now, that was my logic in buying these. That wasn't why I wanted them, really, So I'll tell you what I did like. I did like the first-person point of view recording. It is vertical, so it's really caters more towards, if you're going to be doing stories, of course, Instagram and Facebook posts and things like that. Of course, it's Meta, right? They're gonna set it up for their own platform. I don't normally do that. I normally am more of a horizontal. I document my trips, long form. So that hasn't really been my jam, but it was fun because the videos and photos go right to your phone. It'll record photos and videos with voice commands, go right to your phone, and then you can post them up on your Instagram. I did a lot of stories for the first time really ever. I had a lot of good feedback from my friends and family that were like, hey man, it felt like we were right there with you. That was so cool. I thought the video quality was definitely good. I think these are Gen 1s. I think the Gen 2s are going to probably be much better. So for documenting for social media, these are awesome. For capturing moments where you're not holding a camera and people are just living life, these are amazing. And I really like that. Also like the music feature. There were times when I just took these to the beach and played my music, caught a couple snaps, drank my cold beers, and it really just captured the vibe. I found these amazing. I got the transitions so that I could wear these, indoors like this. Oh shoot! I got a phone call. Hey Meta, don't take the call. So the phone call comes onto my Metas, which that's cool too. So you can take your phone calls on these. Just got a call while recording, which is kind of fun. Anyhow, I got the transition so I could be indoors at night and wear these. Some people wonder how dark they get. If you got direct sunlight and no hat, they will get really dark. If you're like in a car or someplace where the sunlight is not direct, then they're going to be a little bit lighter. So if you want that blacked out look all the time, you might not want the transitions. I'm looking at getting my prescriptions put into these. I have a very mild, prescription for being able to watch movies and drive and that sort of thing. I'm definitely going to do that. I think I'll use them more once I do that. For now, I'm just using them for traveling. I did think about taking them backpacking. I chickened out. They're a little bit heavy. And when I get tired and I've been hiking, I don't want anything heavy on my face. I'm not sure I'm going to spend another $500 on another set. The Oakleys weren't out when these came out. For backpacking, I might I need to test the weight on my face, but the Oakleys look more conducive to endurance sports, obviously. For spending all day going to museums, going out to eat, shopping, that sort of thing. When I was in Italy, these were amazing. They didn't really fatigue on my face. I was just more worried, backpacking. It's just tougher. There were times backpacking where I wished I would have had something like this because I was afraid to pull out my camera because I was in really sketchy situations and it just wasn't worth trading my life for possibly a photo. With the voice commands on these for photo and video, you can get some insane shots where you don't need your hands, and you could get some super sketchy stuff. So overall, am I happy with these? Absolutely. Price is, a little steep, but I mean, if you're going to buy Ray-Bans, you're spending $250 anyways, $100, extra, and you got a really cool documentation device, Yeah, I would say I'm happy with them. I think it was worth it. I think the AI's got a ways to go. Obviously, the Zuckerberg guy's got spending a bunch of money on that. I think eventually he's going to come through. And I think the Translate and some of the other AI features that I thought were okay are going to be a lot better. So I wasn't impressed with the AI. I think he's got a ways to go with that kind of stuff. The voice commands work pretty good. It's kind of like an Alexa. They're fun. I think they were worth it for documenting my trip to Italy. Would I buy them again? I got these for like $379. I think the new ones are like $459. $459 seems a little steep for these. I don't know how much better the new ones are. I'm not apt to just go sell these on eBay and get the latest one. I'll probably ride this pony till it drops or there's a significant difference in the new ones. As you know, I shoot with a G7X Mark II and a GH5, so I don't mind having older equipment. But yeah, I'd say overall I give it a thumbs up. I'm happy I got them. I think it's a nice part of my kit. I'm still hesitant to take them on big backpacking trips. Not for worry about breaking them. I just think they're light, but they're not that light. They're a little heavy, and I'm worried they're going to give me some fatigue. So I don't know. I hope that helps you in figuring out if you want to get these or not. If you got any other questions, hit me in the comments. I really only used them for social media and my travels. And I think that's what they're good for. I ran into a bartender, and she told me she's like a professional independent bartender for like gigs and parties and such. And she uses them to promote her business. I think that's a great way to do it if you're promoting on social media. Yeah, I like them. I'm keeping them. I think they look nice. And I'll, it's now part of my kit. At least my urban travel kit. Cool.